Cure. That Pearl Jam 10 record was pretty sweet. You know what? My first concert was Bruce Springsteen. East Street, the Born in the USA tour. That was my first concert. And I didn't even know why I was there. I didn't even know why we were going. The only time I've ever been to the old Coliseum was for the circus. And we went and like, oh, we're gonna go see Bruce. I'm like, what does that mean? I didn't even understand. And the lights went out. And he's like, are you ready to rock? I'm like, oh my God. My little brother just starts crying, like pissing himself, like terrified. And they kick in a Born in the USA. And I'm like standing on the arms of the chair, like, holy shit, never heard anything like that loud in my life. And completely, I didn't know people did that. And probably in that same year, I was in the front seat of my parents' station wagon, like a little flip down seat, and they had the 8-track of Bruce on, and I was just like air guitaring it, They were like, oh, do you want to be a guitar player? You want to be you gonna be a rock star like a big boy? I said, I could do that. I could actually do that. They're like, yeah, you could do any. I'm like, all right. And that's kind of where that started. Just go back to school. I don't know. Sell the guitar. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. God, I can't imagine. The one thing you do have that I never had is things like GarageBand and the Pro Tools and all the stuff that, we had tape machines. We had to, it cost a fortune just to get to go to a studio. It was like Disneyland. It's like, if you got to go record, it was a huge event. Now it's like, oh yeah, check out my fucking record I made this last week on my iPhone. So there's it's a double-edged sword, I guess. I mean, I guess if I'd have had it, I wouldn't have used it, and because I didn't have it, it forced me to learn how to do it. So advice, I don't know. I've always told people, especially singers, that are like, how do you learn to sing really good and be awesome? Like, first of all of us have our talking voices. Like, you can call your friends and be like, what's up? And they know it's you. I'm sorry, what's up? And they know it's you. Same thing with singing. And if you learn to sing the way you just sing the way you naturally it should come out of your body, then everyone's going to recognize your voice the same way they do over the phone. And what I find is that everyone wants to emulate or be like the people that made them want to sing, or and that's just not the deal. That's why there's people like Bob Dylan and people that can't sing for shit that have amazing voices. It's really that simple. And if you break it down and you got balls to sing about what you're really trying to get across, then that's what people will connect to and go, fuck, So. Oh man, Friendster's been amazing to me. You guys remember Friendster? Was that like 87? I don't know.
I remember you talking about it. 20 years ago.
It's great. And you got to know what you're doing. You got to be careful with it too. You can really screw yourself. People just will have a great thing going and then get in a fight with a girlfriend and go, "Fuck Patricia." That bitch is like, wait, hold on a second. I've been following your feed for years, and all of a sudden you gotta be careful with that stuff. But it's so powerful, and what I've learned is there's room for all of us. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be Michael Jackson or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can find an audience. There's enough people in the world, and if you just base from your own family tree that goes out and your friends, and if you work hard enough and you actually put it out and you do the work, you will cultivate your own crowd, your own deal, and then it's like my job is to keep up with that shit, the Twitter and the stuff with the things with the stuff. got to keep up with that, and it's important. I mean, if it only takes me, 30 seconds to respond to someone from Toronto that I've never met, then that's what I do. I mean, it's if it took them that long to write me, then I write them back. And we used to do that. Unified Theory, our old band, that was part of our. We just made it our thing to go through all the mails and go through it and respond as everyone that we possibly could. And that's your job, not just working on your craft and booking shows and going out there, but you have to be connected and you have to have an online presence. You can't be afraid of it. I've got friends that still are like, oh, screw Facebook. I'm like, it's what you make it. It's just life. It's just a different version of life. It's out there. You don't have to share anything. It's like going to a meeting, There's AA meetings where you can either share or you don't. You just listen, or whatever. I honestly, I don't even really listen to music. I listen to the 40s channel on XM or the news. That's pretty much it. Something has got to really be fantastic to. When I listen to stuff, it's not because I want to hear someone jamming out. I want to hear something that's like a soothing something. I like weird electronica, beautiful, weird, without any none of that shit. Just no grooves, no. And then as soon as you hear something pretty and someone's like, no, and then no. I don't want to hear one singing over it. Just shut up and just let me just chill out and zone out. But I'm jaded. Been doing it too long. I know all the tricks, and I can hear a band and go, yeah, he didn't really sing that. And I know how they did that. And it takes it away. It's like a movie director watching films. It's like, or even living in Hollywood, oh, well, that's La Cienega. They just took a left. That's not Highland. What are they doing on Highland right now? It's pretty much the same thing with music. It's like the same, yeah. So it's hard to listen. But for example, Bon Iver, is that how you say it? Bon Iver, Bon Iver. That first record was incredible. That record, when I heard that, it just was like, okay, there is zero ego. There might be negative ego in that. It's purely what it is, and damn it, you feel the pain. You just go, oh my God, I want to give this guy a hug. Like he's not trying to do shit, and he just fucking won a Grammy. So that makes me go, all right, it's still alive. It's still something out there. I think this is a musical story, but it's not necessarily a show. I had gone to see Peter Gabriel at the Staples, and I was invited. I got to go meet him, and he's one of my. In my mind, if I could be that old and still just rock like that guy does and do, he does everything. He's got 100 different bands. He's got I just love that. And when I got to meet him, and a friend of mine that introduced me, who knows him well, we walk up to him backstage, and he goes, Peter, and they hug, and he goes, Peter, I want you to meet the best singer I've ever met in my life, and points at me, and I'm already pissing myself, and I can't believe he just said that to. And he's like, oh, really? I'm like, and I start to goob out, I turn into the little girl, and I'm like, oh my God, the soundtrack to Last Patient of Christ, Passion, and he's doing the nice thing, and I go, I stop myself, my inner voice goes, shut up. And I go, can I just have a hug? And he goes, of course. And he, big, huge bear hug. And the whole band standing around, and it was this giant hug, and I'm like, can I just hug? It was really sweet, and just summed it all up, and that really affected me you know what? I mean, God, I just like this fluttering of just, of hundreds. But I mean, obviously the most recent is in my mind, and Adele, is that how you say it? I mean, that, what is so refreshing about her and about is you can see it in her eyes when she's witnessing her own life. She's looking at this like, okay, this is never going to happen like this again. This is so, you can see the inner, you can feel it, you can see it, and that's why that's so powerful. And I just like, yeah, fuck yeah, good for you. I mean, you deserve the world, and you can tell that she's going to keep that sort of head. She's just got it. She's already. I mean, of course she can sing, but that's refreshing. That gives me hope. That makes me go, okay. It's not all smoke and mirrors. Some of us actually can break through there.